Good afternoon. This is the slope triangles video walkthrough for explaining the correct answers for April 14th, session 2. The number of miles driven by the Hart family during their vacation is linear proportional relationship with the number of hours they spent traveling shown in the graph. So some of the things that you should pick up from the reading is that it is linear and proportional. That means it's a straight line going through 0, 0. Determine and interpret slope. Okay, so slope is rise over run. Okay, you can pick up some points. I'm going to pick up this point right here because it's on a crosshair, and this point right here, which is 0, 0, which means my rise is to 50, my run is to 1, and therefore my slope is 50. This right here is a slope. It is also a slope. It is also a unit rate. So the Hart family traveled 50, and then you do miles per hour. The number of miles driven by the Hart family during their vacation is linear. Oh, this is the same thing, and we're going to keep going through this. It's the same. I split it up into 2 slides. So interpret the unit rate. Unit rate is another word for slope, and compare it to the slope. So if they're equal, the unit rate, it's also going to be 50 because slope was 50, which is same as, because it is equal. Okay, and then it says, what does the point 0, 0 represent? 0, 0 is right here, and that says in 0 hours I drove 0 miles. Okay, so the Hart family travels 0 miles and 0 hours. That's what that says. The next one, question 3. Sorry. The cost of the tomatoes at the farmer's market is a linear proportional relationship. Linear proportional just means that it's going to be a line going through 0, 0. The relationship to the number of pounds purchased is shown in the graph. I'm going to use that point and that point. So my rise is 2, and my run, ooh, that is very sloppy. Let's see if I could do that again. My run is 1, so my slope is 2. I say 2. I pick up my Y unit, dollars. I say per, and I pick up my X unit, pounds. And that is $2 per pound. Number 5, I'm using the same thing. It is asking for unit rate. Again, unit rate equals slope. They're the same. It's asking the same thing. So the slope was 2, therefore the unit rate is 2, which is the blank of the graph, same as slope. Unit rate and slope are synonyms. Number 6, it says Oh, it's asking what the tomato, the 0.00 on this graph means. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say 0, pick up the Y unit is dollars per 0 pounds. And that's how you read the graph. Amelia earned $40 for babysitting in 5 hours. $40 for 5 hours. The amount of money earned by Amelia while babysitting and the number of hours spent babysitting are proportional, which means it's a line and going through 0, 0. And the situation can be represented by y equals 8x. Couple of ways you can do it. So when I look at this, I do have a point, and this is my point. Understand when they do it like that, it is the y value first. So y is 40 when x is 5. So I'm going to go to my 5 on my graph, and I'm going to the 40, and I'm going to put a point, and to see if that line goes through that point. It does not. I go 5 on this graph. I go up to 40 is way up here, you know, way higher than that even on that graph. This one does not work. This one does not work. I go to the 5 on the x. I go up to the line. That is 5, 40, this point, and that is going through the 5, 40. So this is the graph that represents that. Then it asks to determine the slope. I can look at here, y equals 8x. If you're familiar with a slope-intercept formula, y equals mx plus b. M is always the slope. So this is where the m is. So your slope could be 8, not 80, 8. If you did it from the graph a few minutes ago and you went, when you do $40 for 5 hours, that's the 0.5, 40. Because it's proportional, it's also 0, 0. 0 to 40 is add 40, and I'm going up the graph this time, and 0 to 5 is 5, so it's 40 over 5, which is still 8. Either way you do that. Again, looking on the graph, Amelia earns $8 per hour. That is the unit rate. It is also the slope. The unit rate, again, I will emphasize that unit rate equals slope. We determined our slope was 8, therefore the unit rate is 8, which is the same as, because unit rate and slope are synonyms. This is the walkthrough for session 2, April 13th through 17th.